Hey, so I thought I'd give a bit of a shout out to what my favourite current Marvel comic is, but it's one I hate in monthly floppies in monthly comics, but I love it when it's collected, and it is Ultimate X-Men. So I've got Volume One and the one that came out recently, Volume Two. So it's by Peach Momoko. So obviously it's part of the Ultimate line. And what I hate about the Ultimate line is how they do this monthly jump from month to month. So, say for example, the Ultimate, I love the comic, but what I did say was I hated how it felt like you're missing some of the best parts of the story because you go to the following issue and it jumps on a month. So you're left with just them talking about what's happened. And it's like, And Spider Man, don't get me started on Ultimate Spider Man. I dropped that straight away because it's like it's just showing you them making toast and having a cup of tea, but missing all the fights. But Ultimate X-Men by Peach Momoko, she seems to have just grasped how to do these monthly segments really well. But reading it monthly as a comic, I forgot what gone on from month to month. But when you read it, when it's together, 6 issues in this and 6 issues in this, it works so well. And out of all the Ultimate range, this is the one that is more like what I'd say the absolute range is in DC, and it's really distanced itself from what you expect from an X-Men comic. And they've kept the title, but she's infused a brand new mythology. So it's the X-Men by way of Japanese folklore, a Japanese supernatural ghost story, and manga, and it's just wonderful. But like I said, when you read it with leaving months and months apart with the monthly issues, it doesn't flow. But when you read it together like this, it flows really, really well. And each issue connects really solidly, unlike a lot of the Ultimate comics. And the artwork is just fantastic, which is what you expect from Peach Momoko. She's one of the best artists at Marvel at the moment. But I just love. I'm a huge manga fan anyway, but I love this hybridization of the Western sensibility of superhero comics with a really solid manga tale, which is full of mystery. Almost, she's made the mutants almost be like paranormal. And what's good about these, whereas in a standard Marvel mutant comic, you get the mutants, they get the powers, and suddenly they've got full control of them. With these, it's like the powers are there, but the powers are overtake. The bodies can't cope with the powers. So there's a girl in here who's got like the power of Cyclops, but it's just in one eye, so literally like a Cyclops, and she just cannot control it. And so she leaves a lot of devastation in her wake. There's there's an undergoing thread that's been going from each book, where there's this like almost like this like a Japanese death cult, but instead it's these mutants, and which gave me very much a vibe of 20th Century Boys, which is one of my all-time comics, regardless of whether it's manga or Western comic. I highly recommend you check it out. And it's got like almost like apocalyptic end of the times kind of flavour to it. And there's this young lad who's got like this stalker mentality for the main character here, who's like this version of Armor. And so that develops, and he becomes like almost like this. His obsession with her makes him become much more monstrous in his mutant form, which is like this astral projection, and it's creepy as hell. Peach manages to push the envelope as far as you can with a comic without it being slapped with, in Marvel's case, Red Band or for adults only, because there's such a sinister undercurrent with the storyline with this young lad who's obsessed with this girl, and the way that it's just initially you think, oh, this story's not going to go anywhere; it's too much slice of life, but there's a reason for that, and it just lays these little seeds for the story to grow and blossom. Good horticultural analogy there. And in this book, volume two, it explodes. So you get all these mutants coming out of the woodwork. You get they're called the Children of the Atom, this cult, and they suddenly become this voice for certain types of mutants. It reminds me very much of Hellbound as well, the Korean drama, where you had these like people who like ended up worshipping these demons, like with taking people away. This is very much like this, and it's very interesting to see where they're going. And the Children of the Atom, they've got these pockets in the police force who are kind of like subservient to them, so they can get away with a heck of a lot. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful mystery with gorgeous artwork. It's a slow burn, which pays off hugely, which is what you don't get a lot of unfortunately, in today's market space, especially in Marvel Comics, because much more about the IP, the intellectual property, what they can turn into something for the cinematic universe of TV. But for this, I just love how the Lesson Peaks just run wild with this, and I can't wait for Volume 3. So I highly recommend people pick up Ultimate X-Men. If you're a die-hard X-Men fan, you might not like it. If you go in not expecting it to be like the X-Men, you'll love it. For me, I like new, I like exciting, and I highly, highly recommend this. Okay, bye.